Sup, Taurus? I'm Chris. Welcome to your March Tarot Scope. Now, I'm coming into this reading feeling a little swaggy here, right? I'm feeling while I'm channeling your energy, while I'm meditating on your signs energy for the month, just like this big bull energy, this aggressive, passionate, like ready to like, excuse my French, make shit happen and take no prisoners along the way. It's no irony is not lost to me that as I was starting this reading, I also cracked a Red Bull. Not only is it like your bull energy here, but the aggression, the passion. Guys, I think that March is going to be a month where, well, first of all, please like, comment, subscribe if you like this video. Also, no private readings available in March. I'll keep you posted when that becomes available. Please donate to PayPal to help this channel going, as well as check me out on Instagram. All right, now that I got that out of the way, March is going to be a month of manifestation for you guys, right? I think that there's some things that have been under the surface, things that are like you've been working to manifest, and they're now coming to fruition. And I think March we're going to see, and that's why I think I'm feeling this like boss-ass energy, because it's like, I feel like I'm sitting on top of a throne with all the riches I've created like all around me. Taurus, like, you're about your ambition this month. You are getting aggressive about the things that you want, the things that are going to make you happy. I think this is going to be a month of change and transition for you. I see you guys as like the bull in the rodeo that's like in the pen, and it's like as soon as those doors open, like the bull comes running out and like mad aggressive, right? That's what I think you got. You're just like waiting and you're waiting and you're waiting, and now you're going, and now you're gonna make things happen. And then making things happen, we have the Fool in reverse. So Taurus, I think that with this card here coming up in your central situation, what we're looking at is a sort of while we want to make these fresh starts, while we sorry for that interruption, Taurus, but what I was saying with the Fool reverse is that even though there's like this momentum and this desire to go, it feels like there's sort of being held back in a way, like still not ready to fully take off. And what I think is going on here with you guys is that you know, the Fool is about fresh starts. The Fool is about starting over. And I think what's happening with Taurus is that part of the reason you might, even though you're moving to the space of manifesting and really being ready to create and make things happen, it feels like there's sort of still a connection to something. It feels like there's sort of being stuck, right? And as much as you guys are very confident in what you think and what you know, and like you're often very right, that's why you can be so confident, it feels to me like there's like a lack of certainty in a way. And I think this month when I was meditating, is like something that came up for me was like the universe wants you to embrace your stubbornness. And so I think that with regards to things from your past that you're still holding on to, that's not what we're talking about with being stubborn. That's like being stuck. That's being stagnant, right? What we need from you actually is to trust your mind and trust your knowledge and trust your experience. If people are telling you something that doesn't vibe with you, like this month is asking you to reject it. And the Fool in reverse, this is someone who needs to learn to stand in their power, needs to learn how to trust their knowledge, and not just trust it, but act on it, right? Because the Fool is not just about knowing what to do, it's about actually doing it, more so about doing it. He's taking the first steps. He's going. He's moving out there. He's got his bag packed and he's going. So Taurus, I think this month is asking you two things. One, to trust yourself and your instincts, and to like not just trust it, but really act on it. Trust it to the point where you know you have so much confidence that this is true, or that this is what you should be doing, that there's no question and nothing can stand in your way to getting what you want. The other part here is it is being asked of you to be willing to start fresh. So something in your life, I think, does need a sort of revamp. Something in your life does need to be let go. Reinvented is the word I was thinking, right? Taurus, I think that this month is definitely asking for a reinvention. And I think part of, for some of you, what that's going to be is the reinvention is tied into the thing that I feel manifesting for you this month. So for some of you, I think you're putting yourself out into the world in a new way. You're putting yourself out into the world in a way that you haven't done before. So like if you're in a creative artistic field, it's like releasing a project that like redefines who you are. And if you're not an artist working on a project, just take what I said there and imagine it to fit your circumstances, right? Whatever it is that you're on the cusp of releasing into reality that actually has this ability to change your reality. And now look, in our ideals here, Taurus, how interesting. We have the Magician. So what you're trying to do, this is what I was saying. At first I was a little bit thrown off by the Fool in reverse. I was like, wait, but if they want to create, if they're manifesting, then why are they in this place of the Fool reversed, right? Now we have the Magician. So this is what you guys are wanting. You're trying to create. You're trying to bring something into reality. You're taking the steps. You're pooling your resources. You want to make things happen. And it's funny. It's almost like these two things are like a mirror of each other, right? Where it's almost like this bizarre, like this is you in your ideal place, right? And this is like almost the bizarro world version of you, right? The reflection in the lake part, that's like a mirage, is an image. And I think part of that is we are in Pisces season, and Pisces season does get kind of emotionally overwhelming and makes us turn our wheels a lot, but also like kind of gets stuck if we're not used to dealing with so much emotion, and we're not used to dealing with so much depth all the time. So Taurus, I think for you guys, while there is this sort of stuckness feeling here, there is also a concerted effort on your part to make, like this is the aggression I was talking about. This is the making things happen, nobody standing in your way kind of energy. So this is how you're feeling despite where you might be right now, right? And that doesn't mean, we'll see what happens by the end of the month here. But I think often when I see the reversals, especially like in the center part of the reading, I think that the mission sometimes, like the journey that you take over the course of the month, is going to be about turning that upright, right? Making that energy unblocked, making that energy manifest, making it create in the real world, be created in the real world. So how do we get there, right? Why are we in this place here, Taurus? Ten of Pentacles in reverse. So I think like in the past here, what's been happening is that there's been a little sense of discomfort. You know, maybe you've had to, especially in the home environment, right? This is where we want to see Taurus like upright. But I think in the home environment for you, Taurus, there's been a lack of comfort. So whether it's like you've had to move, or things are not good with the significant other, or there's some kind of problems that have been manifesting, Taurus, in your domestic sphere. And I think this is partly what's throwing you off here, because when you don't have this, I say this all the times, when earth signs don't have this security, this comfort, this sense of things going well and being secure, things get kind of thrown off, kind of get flipped on their head. Things become aggressive for the wrong reasons. You get stuck in your feelings, right? This is sort of like Taurus at its worst, where you're like laying in bed all day because you don't know what to do with yourself. Also, what's interesting here, I'm just realizing, we have Uranus going into Taurus, and with that, Uranus rules the Fool. And with that energy, with that jump start, I think that this is where this energy kind of helps you kind of figure out where you've been stuck and get you unstuck, and allows you to reflect and make radical changes and make big moves so that you don't have to be feeling like what you've been wanting to get is elusive to you. Now we have the Nine of Wands coming up next. So do you see what I'm saying here about the lack of security in the home world, kind of making you a little sheltered, maybe a little closed off, maybe pursuing things in a way, but not with it feels like with the Nine of Wands, not like with the full force of what you're capable of. Not when you see yourself this way, Taurus. This energy is like not letting you create the way you want to. And I think that you've maybe had some setbacks, Taurus. I think that you've had some moments where you've been feeling like things haven't been really going your way. Maybe you are a little standoffish with people. Maybe you're a little like withdrawn. it's very, very counter to the energy I feel for you guys. Even like, I kind of want to show you. I usually wait till the end of the reading to point the camera down, but I want to show you real quick what I'm seeing here, and you'll see for yourself. So, do you see the sort of dichotomy that we have here? And I was going to say there's like a push and pull, right? There's a desire to go, but then there's a stop. So here we have all this creative force of the magician, and upright, the Ten of Pentacles would show that stuff manifesting, right? This would be the ideal situation where you create and then you end up with this card like this, right? Upright, like manifesting. But there's a blockage to your ability to manifest. And then here, the inability to go and move and start over is sort of caught up in this like web of stuff, of baggage, of drama, of I don't want to say codependence, but being stuck to something, right? Not being willing to take the first step, Taurus. So why are we not taking the first step? There's maybe a little fear here, right? And that's what I think I was saying about Uranus and your sign. It gives a shock to the system. It wakes it up. It says, you know, if you don't take chances, then what's life worth, right? You're not going to get the payoff unless you take the risk. And then in your feelings, Taurus, what have I been saying about being kind of withdrawn? We have the moon here, right? So being in your feelings, being like withdrawn, going inside. I think that what's been happening also is that this has been like maybe a little bit of a resting period for you guys. In the northern hemisphere, it's winter, and you guys are children of spring. And I think that once we hit Aries season and things start to get a little warm, you start to come out of your shell, like the ice over the earth starts to melt, so to speak. And then in our last position of the past, I think what happens is we break free from the place of the moon. We break free after this Pisces season that's been so deep and so, like I was just saying from the beginning, right? This is Pisces, that energy that's so intense that it almost makes it hard to like move. So Taurus, so far what I'm seeing is that I think what we're doing is getting back around to the point where now we are the manifestors. I think that there's been like a couple of detours. I think there's been some stuff that you maybe had to deal with. I think there's been some stuff you've had to deal with emotionally. And I think that's maybe why there's a little bit of paralysis here. Some things that you've had to deal with, letting go, coming to terms and accepting that certain things were over, even just certain parts of your life are over, certain ways of identifying yourself are over. That's again the Uranus and Taurus energy coming in, shocking the self, shocking the idea of who you are and your identity. And now look at this, Taurus. We have the first, I think it's waxing gibbous, I want to say. It's the first hint of light in the moon, as the moon, in the moon cycle. And now what this is saying is that we're moving towards a place of growth. We're moving towards a place of manifesting. The darkness that has consumed your life is fading away. And now what we do is we fill it with light. We fill it with not just ideas, but this is action to me. This is Taurus taking those first steps. This is Taurus being in our turning point here, not being okay with being halfway there, not being okay with, you know, going through the motions. Maybe you have a couple things going for you, but maybe it's been a little while since you felt like growth. You know, maybe there was a period a few months ago where you felt like things were going, or maybe even up to a year ago, right before your last season, where things were going and things were moving and things were changing and things were shaking. And then there's sort of been like a decline in that maybe. And that's where I think you guys are motivated to get back out there, to start taking up clients, to get your health back in order. I feel like March is a big health month for Taurus, both your mental health. Oh, coming into this, I thought it was just physical health, but now I'm thinking like there's a recovery almost, I feel, in the world of your mental and emotional health as well. Going to the future, Taurus, we have the Eight of Cups. So do you see in reverse? So do you see here still how there's this resistance to moving on? Who? What? Taurus not being able to let go of the past? Who would have thought? I kid you guys, but seriously, this is so in line with what you guys do, right? There's this sentimental attachment to things. There's this resistance to sort of let what was just be. There's this almost like this ambition that you guys have maybe being channeled into like personal relationships. I think right now Taurus is like, if you've been trying to keep a relationship alive, or you've been trying to like consciously take steps to move on from a relationship, I think this month is saying that part needs to be let go of. Maybe you're not going to let go of the person right away. Maybe you're not going to let go of the situation. But the part of you that wants to fix things, with people, that wants to like go back in time and like, right your wrongs from the past, it's not doable, Taurus. Like, you have to understand that some things in those past relationships were not great, but you can't undo them. You can't go back and fix it. Your performance in something at one point maybe wasn't great, but you can't undo it. I'm thinking of a Taurus right now, I know now, who was in a reality show and got eliminated very early on, and he tried again to get back on it. And that's the reason I'm get back on the show. And that's what I'm thinking about here, is like that energy of trying to redo what you did wrong, of trying to redo what is in the past. And whether it's your career or relationships, Taurus, I think that you need to stop trying to fix things. You need to stop trying to make things better. You kind of need to go with things are the way they are and look to the future. Look towards what's next. Look towards the future, Taurus. The Knight of Swords. Do you see how it's the opposite? And look, I love the way these cards fall in line like this, right? Because as much as I'm going around in a circle, there is a row that is formed. The very middle of the reading, look at the row here. Right next to the Fool in reverse, not being able to go, not being able to take the first steps. What do we have? The Knight of Swords, who doesn't think about it, who doesn't think twice. He just trusts his gut and goes. He trusts his horse and rides off into the horizon. Trusts his mind. He knows that, whatever challenges come up along the way, he can deal with. Whatever hurdles come up in his way, he can deal with. Doesn't let that stop him from starting. Right? Doesn't like, this is the energy of someone who doesn't have everything perfect, but just is ready to go, and who doesn't need anything to be perfect, because they know that starting is half the battle, and then finishing is half the battle, right? And then there's always new opportunities to do better, to be better, right? Sometimes with relationships, you can't go back and make you learn these lessons after, say, a relationship ends, right? And it makes you want to go back. It makes you want to try again. It makes you want to say, hey, I learned so much. This is the way I could have been better. But there's something about it that's just done. And the best you can do, Taurus, is take those lessons into your next relationship. Take those lessons into what you have going forward. Using your intellect, using the stubbornness of your mind to know, like, this is the stubbornness I was talking about. You have your eye on a place that you want to get to. And you need to go without looking back. And then we're ending up with the first quarter moon. So, last quarter moon, sorry. This is the moon about to enter the dark moon, right? So we're at a halfway point. March ends with you guys at a halfway point. It ends with you starting to make moves, I think, towards letting go. I think that what happens, and now we see the magician back in the beginning, it's like the light of the magician, the potential for what you're capable of creating, that's new, that's fresh, that's invigorating, that's forward thinking. That starts to become more intriguing to you. That becomes the light at the end of the tunnel. This like sucks you in, Taurus, in a way where like what was before just can't compare to what's so exciting about what's coming. To the potential, to the possibilities you have available to you, right? So coming back home in a way to yourself, Taurus, coming back into this place where you're situated within yourself, and you have confidence and you have strength, and you're just so sure of yourself, and you know what it takes to get everything you need. Bottom of the deck, we have the Wheel of Fortune. Taurus, you're feeling that wheel turn. You're sensing it. You know it's coming. You know it's imminent. And that's what spurs all this into action. That, again, that sense of moving towards something, right? In a way, I know the moon is moving this way and it's going to get darker, but at the same time, we are like moving away from this and moving towards this, towards this. This is prosperity. This is abundance. This is money. This is success. Ambition, power, drive, Taurus. I'll show you the cards. Okay, so now we see how we start off in this upside down place where fresh starts are hard to make, and then look, we have all this invigorating energy here. We have this mercurial sort of drive, sort of this movement. We have Mercury going into retrograde, but this is not about, this is sort of giving the second guessing part of yourself a break and just allowing action to happen. Allowing things to be, allowing yourself to just, it's almost as if Taurus, there's a sense here of like if the energy of the universe is meant to create, and that's all it wants to do is create, to flow, to make things happen. Your mind has been getting in the way of that. And now you just need to become a pure channel for creation, a pure channel for making things happen. You guys are fixed earth. That's what you do. You grow things. You make things manifest. You stay strong on your path. You stay strong in your convictions. And then what happens is that things come into being. Things become created. My sleeve is riding up. My sleeve is riding up. It's just because I'm just so jacked. I did just go to the gym today. I think I'm a little puffy, but all right. So Taurus, let's go ahead and wrap this up with an outcome card here. What a beautiful outcome, Taurus. 8 of Pentacles. This is like exactly what I wanted for you guys. Doing the things you love. Being what I just gave you, that little speech about like the creative energy of the universe needing to manifest through you. Taurus, whether it's like art projects or work, or whether it's just like your life itself is like the painting, your life itself is the work of art. The universe is trying to get something into being through you. It's trying to create. Your imperative this month, Taurus, is to create, is to be artistic. Again, if you're not like a painter or a writer or a singer or whatever, like whatever way that being creative is happens with you. I was like, what's on my bed? It's remote. You know, Taurus, it's time to create. You're going to be creating. As the spring comes, you thaw out and your creative power comes on overdrive. And I just see you in the spring being out and about, showing off your talents, showing off your skills, making money. Okay? All right, Taurus, beautiful reading here. Thank you so much for being with me here. I think you're going to have a great month ahead. It's, I think, a month for most signs of transition and change. And this is really March is where things kick in, where we're letting go of the past and we're embracing the new. It's the start of the new astrological year. So happy New Year, Taurus. Kill it. I love you guys. I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.